Hi, Mike here with Badonsky Buccaneers and another coastal cooking episode. Today we're going to be talking about gumbo. First, I'd like to take just a minute to thank everybody that has signed up and subscribed to our YouTube channel. We sure do appreciate it. We hope you really enjoy watching our videos, and if you have, make sure you click on the like button below so we know it. Also, you can fill out the comment section below, because good or bad, I'll take any criticism. Now, why don't we talk about that gumbo? Now, as you know, there is no one single gumbo recipe. There are 1,000,001 variations out there. There's no master recipe to it, and they're all good. Now, my variation is going to be a seafood gumbo, of course, and I call it a shrimp boat gumbo. And we're going to be using both crab and shrimp, and I want to make a point to make sure that you buy local Gulf seafood. It adds a flavor to your gumbo that you just can't get from imported or farm-raised seafood. So go to local markets, get Gulf seafood. Also, gumbo is a meal that is not prepared on a whim. You're going to need a couple hours to get it ready from the roux down to the final thing. And also, for some reason, it seems like the second and third day coming out of the refrigerator and being reheated, that gumbo's as good, if not better, than it was the first day it was prepared. So make sure you make enough that you're going to have some leftovers, because you're going to want to eat it again. Alright, now the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a roux, which is your base. And it's the same as most gravies and soups use. And for that, we're going to need about 8 tablespoons, either bacon drippings or olive oil. Now, I use the bacon drippings myself because I think it adds a particular flavor to it that I look for. But you can use the olive oil. We're also going to need about a cup of flour. Or you can use this Tony Chachere's roux and gravy mix. And it is pretty good. It's got a little extra spice in there. Now, for the rest of it, we're also going to need about 8 cups of chicken broth. We're also going to need about a cup of white wine, about a tablespoon Worcestershire sauce. We're going to want 1 large chopped onion, a large chopped bell pepper, and about half a bunch of chopped parsley, and about half a bunch of chopped celery. We're also going to need about 1 tablespoon chopped or minced garlic, 1 couple of bay leaves, about a half a teaspoon gumbo file, about a teaspoon and a half of salt, at least 1 teaspoon Creole seasoning, and that's just to start. Later on, you'll probably want to add some more to it. And you know, we typically use the Tony Chachere's, but let me also say, if you've got availability to slap your mama, that's pretty good too. I just picked that up from my sister-in-law over in Louisiana, and it's good. We're also going to need about 3 cups of okra, 2 large cans of stewed tomatoes, and if you like sausage in it, you get the andouille sausage, which is of course made for gumbos, and it's a little spicy. You don't have to, but if you like spicy sausage, that's the way to go. We're also going to need about 2 cups cooked and clean crab. We'll also need about 3 or 4 pounds shrimp, medium, maybe small to medium size. You're going to peel those. And we also like to add a couple of small crabs or some crab claws to it for aesthetics and so on. So the important thing we need to get done first is we need to get all our vegetables prepared, because whenever we get through doing the roux, we're going to have to put those vegetables to saute in there, so we break them down enough before we add them to the soup. So let's work on the veggies first. Okay, we're going to start on our roux mix now, and I'll get this pan nice and hot. And 8.
Now, I like using this cast iron skillet, or this is actually a Dutch oven, because I feel like it helps to disperse the heat evenly, and I also think that it might help to add something as far as the flavor to it. See how that bacon grease is foaming up a little bit. And you basically would do the same thing if you're using the Tony Chachere's roux mix. Just let it start cooking in there. And keep stirring. Now what you're going to want to end up with is you're going to want that flour to cook in there, and it's going to thicken up until it's kind of like a dark chocolate. It's going to have a dark color to appearance, and it's going to get kind of thick. Nice and brown. That there is about ready. Now what we're going to do is we're going to saute these vegetables in here. Okay. Real good. That's our bell pepper, celery, and onion. Okay. I got a little garlic here too. You gotta look good. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll add about a cup or so of that chicken broth. Get it to mix together real good. That'll make it easier when I transfer from here to the larger stock pot. Woo-wee. Look at that. All right.
Alright, now we're going to get our cup of wine and add that to it. I prefer a Chardonnay, but you can use whatever you like. Alright, now we're going to add the stewed tomatoes. Let them cook down some. Put our parsley in. Let's add our okra. I don't know what it is about the okra, but sure starts making it look like a gumbo when you got that okra in there. Add the rest of the chicken broth to it, and then we can start adding the rest of our spices. And just to recap, that's our teaspoon of gumbo file, about a teaspoon and a half of salt. Add Creole seasoning to your taste. More if you like it spicy, not so much if you don't. Don't forget the bay leaves, and a tablespoon Worcestershire sauce. Now if you're going to add the andouille sausage, you can cut it up and pre-cook and then add it to your gumbo.
but I usually just cut it up and put it in there and let it cook in the gumbo itself. Alright, let's put the seafood in there. There's our crab. Stir that in. And we're going to get our shrimp. And this is peeled raw shrimp, so there again we're going to need to let this cook. Let that sausage and that shrimp cook in there. So we let that cook about 30 minutes or so on a medium heat, stirring occasionally. Then we can turn it down to a simmer and just keep it hot until you're ready to serve. Hey, this looks like it's ready.
Oh yeah, that's a good gumbo. Now all I have to do is fix some rice and we'll be ready to eat. That's going to conclude this episode of Coastal Cooking. I hope you found it informative as well as entertaining, and be sure and watch all of our videos on YouTube. And any of these recipes that you've seen on the shows that you would like a copy of, feel free to email me at mike@badonskybuccaneers.com, and I'd be more than happy to send you a pamphlet. That's all for today. Y'all have a great day and God bless.